Well, hello everyone, Texie88 here and welcome to another of my retro gaming reviews. And this time I'm looking at another Sinclair ZX Spectrum arcade conversion. This time US Gold's conversion of OutRun. Now I'm reviewing the 128K version, although there is a 48K version. So, controls. Keyboard, traffic, I'll set it to normal. So as you saw there, you've got 4 different levels of traffic difficulty. The higher it is, the more cars and so forth you have to worry about crashing into. So let's just get this show on the road, figuratively and literally. Graphics look kind of nice. Oh dear. Oh very dear me. Well, you can probably guess what the first big problem with this conversion is, can't you? Yep. The pretty bad frame rate. I mean, look at this. It's so jerky and juddery. I mean, the graphics look nice in stills, and the way that sky at the top is gradient. It's look at that! Did you see that road just suddenly shift slightly to the right instead of gradually? What? Come on, get on with it. You've got the speedometer in the bottom left corner. Can't see anything that says what gear you're in, which is kind of annoying. The music's very good though. I mean, as I was saying, there is a 48K version, which I believe is pretty much the same as this, but doesn't have that music in the background. So you can, as you probably imagine, that would have been a fairly empty experience by comparison to this. So that's why I picked the 128K version. That skid sound isn't great. This frame rate is really bad. See, these drivers are just veering all over the shop. Look at those lines, they're barely even moving. Honestly, the speedometer says another bit of sudden shifting to the right of the... Oh, goodness me, this is a poor port. Ooh, different music. I recognise this one as well. But that frame rate. Oh, crikey. That music is really good. It's one of the best things about this version. It's just a shame that the rest of the game doesn't really come up to snuff. I also don't like the way that the vehicles can suddenly shift very sharply from one lane to another. It can make them a real pig to avoid. Not to mention it's a bit unrealistic as well. Come on, get on with it. I mean, I'm supposed to be doing 240 kilometers per hour, but it looks more like 2.4 kilometers per hour with the way everything's scrolling past me. There is no illusion of speed whatsoever. I mean, graphical detail on the car is nice, although it still has the same problem as other versions. And it still has the same problem as other versions in the arcade, in which you'd suddenly see the Ferrari horse logo switch directions. Oh, we're back to this tune again. Jeez, this frame rate is pants. Why can't it tell you what gear you're in? Would that really have been such a big ask? What? I didn't even touch that. Oh, goodness me. Oh, gosh. Look how slow it is going through this tunnel. And those lines almost look like I'm going backwards. That's how slow this is. And to think that my previous review was the Sinclair ZX Spectrum conversion of Chase HQ. This really is nothing by comparison. Look at this, it's absolutely substandard. Probe, you have really fluffed this up. Oh my goodness, this is absolutely crawling. Jump, jerk, 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 jerk. Goodness me. I mean, I remember Zeustas saying that this Spectrum version was slow when he reviewed the Amstrad CPC version in one of his shit Game Time reviews. God, I didn't realise it was this bad. I mean, this is a Spectrum; it can do fast. Did you notice those tunnel sections glitching just a few moments ago? Oh, this is an absolutely pitiful port. Oh my goodness gracious me. And it really is a case of, oh doctor, I'm in trouble, well goodness gracious me. God blimey, this is so sluggish. Again, I didn't even touch that. Come on, just slide back onto the road and let me get on with it. It's a shame, the music's really good, but apart from that, there's precious little in the way of sound. And I'd say again, it would really help if I knew what gear I was actually in. It doesn't seem to say anywhere. I mean, in the arcade, it wouldn't have mattered because there would have actually been a visible shifter so you could actually see which gear you were in. This has nothing. Goodness me, I actually think they should have simply missed out those tunnel sections and just left it with the foliage on the side or something like that. I mean, look how slow that was. Clunk, 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 clunk. Deary me. No, it's game over. I've run out of time. Now to key in text. Because as with Chase HQ, text is all I can fit in of my YouTube account names. So that's OutRun for the Sinclair ZX Spectrum 128K. As I said, the 48K version is pretty much the same, except it doesn't have the music in the background. But my understanding is it's every bit as slow and jerky as this version. So, graphics, They look nice in stills, but as soon as you see them running, that's when everything just falls apart. You see you see everything just looks so slow and jerky. It's a shame, because when you look at that Ferrari just there, it looks really, really nice and detailed. Spectrum graphics can be incredibly detailed. I mean, just look at the detail on those tunnel sections that you can see in that background, and the simulated gradient effect on the sky. All of that looks really good. But it's just when everything's animated, that's when the illusion is destroyed. Sound. Apart from skidding sound, and in this case, this version has the in-game music, there's not really any sound to be particularly enthralled by. There's no engine sound at all, even on this version, which is pretty poor. I could sort of understood on the 48K version. This is a 128K version. So sound is poor. It's only really the music that saves that, and that's not enough to save it entirely. Gameplay, pretty bad, and as you can imagine, the frame rate drop makes for a distinct loss in controllability of the car, amongst other things, and that's probably what led to me crashing into things that were quite some way away, like that rock section not so long ago. I'm just looking at the back of the original packaging. You're cool, the engine's hot, the girl's gorgeous, a tank full of gas and an open road. The rest is up to you. The ultimate experience in motorsport simulation. The absolute challenge to nerves and reflexes. Well, nerves is definitely true, reflexes, no chance. Feel the wind in your hair and the pull of the G-force as you power your way along the highways and byways, spelled with an E for some reason. A girl by your side in an open country before you. Experience the exhilaration and excitement of driving a high-performance sports car in this teasing time trial, where your coordination and nerve will be tested to unbelievable limits. Well, nerves certainly were tested to unbelievable limits, but not in the way they're imagining. OutRun the coin-op starred as an arcade sensation. That's about the only bit of this that's correct. OutRun the computer simulation mirrors this exciting all-action spectacle. Does it, heck? Every single conversion of this on the 8 and 16-bit computer was absolute pants. And this Spectrum conversion is no exception. I mean, it's actually got 4 screenshots, one of which is from the Spectrum version, and the way they've depicted the lorries, they don't look the same as they did in the game footage that we saw just now. So it must have been an early pre-production screenshot or something along those lines. But either way, OutRun on the Spectrum is a complete waste of time. It's got its biggest problem is its exceptionally poor frame rate and lack of sound bar the music. So I'm going to give the Spectrum version of OutRun 4 out of 10. Looks nice and the music's great, but that's about it really. So hope you enjoyed that review. Texie88 out.